Hey, welcome back to the channel this week. We got a pretty good episode for you. I'm using the GFX 50R, and I'm using it with the 45mm f2.8. And I gotta say that it's becoming one of my favorite lenses on this camera. And what I've decided to do was do the old digital expand thing. I'm gonna go around and look for some flowers, because I know Gloucester's got some great flowers planted on the boulevard. And maybe a few other shots that I have in mind. Probably with a maritime theme of some kind. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get used to shooting in that 65x24 mode. I gotta say, it's a really cool way of shooting, and I'm just not used to it. So, hey, let's go out and discover what I can do with this camera, this lens, and the 65x24 X-Pan format. Well, here we are over in Gloucester, and the generous gardeners who put up this display of flowers, unfortunately, has started to pull most of the flowers out they had in before, and started to plant new stuff. That's all right. We're going to, there is some left, so we're going to try and make some panos of this stuff. Well, I can see why. These flowers are pretty cooked. But we'll find something interesting. Some good shots here. Well, as you can see here, the composition works all right, but we don't have a lot of depth of field going on here, which is a problem for me. Obviously, the flowers are toasted here, and they don't look very good. But as far as the composition goes, we've got the right side loaded up, going towards the left, towards the people sitting on the bench and the people walking. These yellow ones were on their last legs, or I should say yellow, white, whatever you want to call it. Definitely on its last leg. So we're going to go to shoot some red ones. Okay, we got some cool red tulips here. Look at this. Right into the sun. I'm going to get a good shot of these. So I really got to be aware of my depth of field here. So I'm shooting at f11. I love the composition of this one with the trunk here on the left-hand side, but I didn't focus in the right place, and my depth of field is way off, even though it's at f16. I'm gonna get a shot of this little frog guy here. Looks like these flowers are going by here, but I'm gonna zero in on this guy here. Well, this shot works for me. We got the path leading out to the center here. We got the statue pointing out towards there. It all works. Everything's sharp. It works great. These were kind of cool, although the flowers are past prime. Especially the yellow flowers. Those are way past prime. And the red ones, they weren't too bad. The tulips weren't too bad. But we're going to go try and find something a little bit different, not flowers, and see what we get. I got to say, I'm really intrigued with this 64x24 digital X-Pan that I'm working on here. It's kind of fun. We've got a really cool shot here, and I'm going to show you some video of it right now. This is an old boat that's been sitting here rotting for a long time, and I've gotten some cool shots of it in the past, but never in this digital X-Pan 65x24 format. So let's take a look at it right now. Okay, the composition on this one works for me. We got the right-hand side loaded up, pointing to the left, which is where the newer boat is. Works for me. Okay, so this shot here, we got everything loaded up on the right, going to the left. It's an okay shot. It's not great, but it works. Okay, here's another spot. We're down here at Good Harbor Beach, and I'm going to try and get a shot of the bridge here, and hopefully I won't fall in the water. Here's what I'm looking at. A nice pano out of this, and I might be able to get some good reflections in that water down there. Bushwhacking. It's pretty nasty. See if we can get right down here and see if I can find a good shot. Okay, so this is the shot, and unfortunately I'm down a little low here, so let's see if I can get up a little bit. That's a little bit better. So we got a young lady here walking this way. Come on, turn around. And maybe I can get them walking across the bridge if I'm lucky. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. This is called patience, waiting it out. This shot's pretty good for me. I don't mind it. You know, we got the person walking across the bridge, we got the reflection, we got everything going to the right as well with the twin lights at the end. Okay. So yesterday I had a so-so day with the 50R and the 45 f2.8. I gotta say, I'm not real happy with what I got. So I'm down here at the harbor, and it's a nice foggy day. So I've learned a few things shooting in the 65 by 24 format that I need to be aware of. One of them is depth of field when you're up close, and the other one is placing things on the thirds. You really got to pay attention to that because it leads people's eyes from one side to the other. So I'm starting to pay attention to that right now, and it's a real foggy day down here, and we'll see what I can find, but it's going to include lobster boats because they're all in. Let's see what I can get. Boy, is it chilly down here this morning. Okay, we're working our way over here to the to my usual shack, and I'm going to work some compositions here. I'll show you what it looks like. It's going to be interesting in 65 by 24, I'll tell you that. Well, I've got a problem with this one. The lobster traps on the left are a little bit out of focus. My focus point was not quite right. This is at f16. Now, I kind of like this one, but it still doesn't really do a lot for me. Even though everything is sharp in the image, it's just no center of interest, really. We'll have to see how those work out, but honestly, I think they worked out pretty good. It's really tough to get the compositions right with this format. You got to get something in the thirds that leads you back into the picture. I don't know. Let's see what this harbor looks like. We've got some nice fog. So this is a tough one. Trying to get this composition right in 65 by 24 is really hard. Well, this one's okay, but it still just doesn't grab me. Not really what I was looking for. This one here, the buoy on the left is a little bit out of focus, a tad. But I like the composition a little bit better. So that's enough over here at motif number 1 in the harbor. I think we got some shots, but I'm learning a lot. Let's just say I'm learning a lot with what I'm doing with this format. It's not easy at all. You really got to dominate the foreground on one side, or if it's just an overall shot that gets the like just the boats. It looks great, but does it work? That's what I'm trying to find out. Does it work? This is a great experimentation with this format. I'm learning a lot. Boy, this is great. It's a lot of fun trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Well, that was more difficult than I thought. The 64x24 format takes some getting used to. You really need to pay attention to where your focus and what your depth of field will be. The other portion of the equation is composition. The rule of thirds and leading lines are a big part of a successful composition when shooting panoramas. I was not successful in many of these shots, but that is why I need to go practice. That's what photography is all about for me, the excitement of discovering new things and finding ways to make interesting photographs. Hey, if you like this episode and would like to support my channel, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. Sharing the video would also help. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's not what you photograph, it's how you photograph it, and we'll catch you next time.